Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Megan Galetta with Snowflake. We will be starting in just about 2 minutes. We figure we'll let everyone log in just after leaving their other calls and meetings. So we'll give it about 2 minutes and then we'll kick off the call. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining the Snowflake Partner Webinar today. We're really excited to bring you the content. Today, our topics include a presentation on Virtual Private Snowflake, also known as VPS, which you may hear some of us talking about VPS, and that will be driven by my colleague, Craig Collier. And then I'll take you through a tour and a demo of our new partner portal, Snowcamp. If you haven't received an email from Snowflake to log into our portal, please send an email to alliances@snowflake.net. Again, that's alliances@snowflake.net, and we will send you an email so that you can gain access. Just a few quick housekeeping items. One, first of all attendees will be on mute, so your phones will be on mute. Secondly, if you want to ask a question, please go through the Q&A feature on your screen, and you can go ahead and place your question in there. We'll try to respond to all of the questions at the end of the session, and if not, we can always send a follow-on note with any of the other questions. And then lastly, a recording of the session will be available, most likely Monday the 23rd. So stay tuned for that in case you want to share it with your teams. So I'd now like to introduce you to Craig Collier. Craig is our solutions architect for Alliances, and he's based in the Philly metro area. He and I support the East Coast. Craig will take you through the presentation of Virtual Private Snowflake, and again, use the Q&A on your console to ask any questions. And then lastly, if you haven't, go right ahead, and I'll turn it over to Craig right now. Thanks, Craig.
Great. Thank you, Megan. Again, my name is Craig Collier. I'm the technical architect for the U.S. East and EMEA for Snowflake Computing. Some of you may know me and those that I have not met yet or had the opportunity to meet yet. I'm looking forward to meeting you in the near future. So today we're going to talk a little bit about security across Snowflake editions, and somewhere near the end of this presentation you're going to see a discussion, or I'm going to introduce to you Virtual Private Snowflake. So if you look at security, Snowflake's security philosophy, that is, it'll leave no doubt that we actually take security very seriously. Protecting our customers' data is actually our number one priority. So much so that on my first day as an employee at Snowflake back in June, orientation started at 8 a.m., and by 8:01 we were on the topic of security as a cultural attribute. It really is our number one priority. And with that said, our architecture, if you look at it, is actually secure by design. Snowflake leverages AWS redundancy, and each AWS region is geographically dispersed into several data centers across several miles within a region. Now, AWS provides automatic and synchronous 3x replication of data across its availability zones. And our encryption keys are stored in the AWS Cloud, HSM. We employ clearly defined operational controls which are validated through certification. Snowflake's personnel's access, all employees of Snowflake, their access to production deployments is actually limited with role segregation. And we consistently, on an ongoing basis in our use of secure coding practices and really sophisticated code reviews to ensure the safety of our code and that we are not introducing vulnerabilities that can affect our customers. We continuously monitor for potential vulnerabilities and unauthorized access. Snowflake has actually implemented sophisticated logging, monitoring, and alerting on Snowflake's infrastructure. We're using tools such as Threat Stack and Sumo Logic to monitor production infrastructure for failed logins, file integrity monitoring, unauthorized system modifications. And Snowflake also uses Lacework for behavioral monitoring of production infrastructure, including our network traffic, user activity, and all of our binary code. All alerts are reviewed on a daily basis by the Snowflake security team. And they really we just take security very seriously, so much so that we actually perform 7 to 10 penetration tests per year. Those are application penetration tests, network penetration tests, functionality penetration testing, and all the findings are logged and tracked until closure. Our penetration tests are actually available to prospects and customers who are under NDA with Snowflake. So if you look at Snowflake security features at a glance, you will see that Snowflake has substantial security features enabled by default for all of our customers. Now, for example, there is no additional effort required to enable encryption. It's worth noting that all Snowflake additions are supported by the infrastructure and security controls that are described in our SOC 2 Type 2 report. And this report is available to organizations that are under NDA with Snowflake. Snowflake is entirely hosted on AWS at this moment and in several regions. And Snowflake's personnel do not have access to unencrypted personnel data unless the customer explicitly grants that access to Snowflake personnel. With the Snowflake Enterprise Edition, we actually add the ability for customers to implement a number of federated authentication services such as Okta. In addition, our enterprise customers may choose up to 90 days for Snowflake's time travel feature. This allows customers to actually, feel safe and secure that their data is protected in the event that they are, unauthorized access or actually, a coding error or issue where a customer needs to go back and restore data to a previous time period. Also for enterprise customers, Snowflake automatically rekeys all customer data on an ongoing basis. So we also have our Enterprise for Sensitive Data feature, or ESD, and this edition supports customers that have HIPAA and PCI requirements. This edition includes everything covered in the Enterprise Edition, as well as additional encryption. In fact, all transmission, even within the Snowflake VPC is encrypted, as well as any user statements that are executed. One additional feature with ESD is our Tri-Secret Secure feature, and this is for customers who require that additional level of control of their data. So Snowflake currently offers 5 editions, our Standard, Premier, Enterprise, and ESD, as I alluded to. With the Standard, Premier, and Enterprise edition, again, data is always encrypted, and when it's sent over public internet or when it's actually stored on disk. Okay, with ESD, data is also encrypted when it is transmitted over the network within within the secure Snowflake VPC. Additionally, the metadata for all customer queries, including any SQL text, is fully encrypted at the application level before it's persisted to the metadata store. One of the reasons why you're all here is to actually learn a little bit more about the Virtual Private Snowflake, which is a product offering that Snowflake has just introduced. VPS actually builds on top of the full ESD feature set. And with VPS, all servers that contain in-memory encryption keys are dedicated to that customer. VPS also provides a dedicated instance of Snowflake metadata and key store that's in our managed services layer. VPS provides complete isolation for security-critical workloads and ensures that all the activities of any customer within a multi-tenant service do not actually impact the operations of a customer that has purchased the VPS service. So just to back up, if you looked at the Enterprise Standard and Premier editions of Snowflake, you will see that data is encrypted, as we said before, while it's going over the public internet, and whenever it's actually stored on disk. The master key for the encryption system is stored in an HSM, and that HSM is used to generate a unique account and table keys. Each data file is encrypted with a unique encryption key. These keys are automatically rotated on a monthly basis. The Enterprise Edition also includes the ability to automatically and transparently rekey all files. And again, like I said before, we do this on an ongoing and an annual basis. Now, our Enterprise for sensitive data is also available, and this really supports customers who have PHI data and HIPAA compliant issues. Snowflake ESD is actually required for any HIPAA or PCI compliant data. What it actually adds is encryption everywhere. With an ESD, transmission of data within the Snowflake VPC is also encrypted. And additionally, the metadata for all customer queries, including SQL text, again, is encrypted at the application level before it's persisted to the metadata store. In addition, customer-managed keys are actually been implemented within Snowflake Enterprise for sensitive data. With customer-managed keys, the encryption keys are actually split, and part of the key is stored in the Snowflake-managed HSM, and the customer key is known only to the customer and is stored in Amazon's KMS. Access to the customer data requires the combination of a Snowflake encryption key plus the customer's encryption key. A valid customer credentials with a role-based access on that data. Now, because the data is encrypted with this split encryption key, it is absolutely really impossible for Amazon to gain access to this data or any Snowflake. All right, both the customer key and a valid customer credentials are required for the Snowflake service to process this data, and at no point in time can Snowflake autonomously access this data. Customer-managed keys actually prevent Snowflake from responding to a court-ordered subpoena for data, so we're unable to actually manage that at all. So only the customer can respond to a government inquiry or subpoena. The customer can actually fully disable Snowflake operations on their data at any time by removing access to this encrypted key. Okay. So looking inside a virtual private Snowflake, within the VPS, all servers that contain an in-memory encryption key as well as the metadata store are dedicated to that customer. VPS customers are provisioned with their own Amazon account for S3 storage. And what that means is that customers are not working, if you've opted for VPS, you're not working within a multi-tenant environment. And the HSM is actually configured with a completely separate partition that is dedicated to that customer and that customer only. Now, all data is stored within S3, is fully encrypted, but with VPS, customers connect to Snowflake using a secure proxy to control all communications. Now, an AWS region is the primary scale unit for Snowflake. And within an AWS region, a single Snowflake VPC can support many thousands of multi-tenant customers. VPS customers are provisioned with a dedicated VPC, And all servers which instantiate customer encryption keys as well as the metadata store are fully dedicated to that customer. Now, all communications between servers are fully encrypted. And VPS customers are provisioned with their own Amazon account for S3 storage. The HSM is configured with a completely separate partition that is dedicated to that customer. And all data stored within S3 is fully encrypted. Snowflake configures and maintains the dedicated customer VPC by connecting this using a VPC bridge to our production and multi-tenant VPC. Essentially, that's all I have for VPC. We'll be taking questions at the end for Virtual Private Snowflake. Right now, what I'd like to do is turn it back over to Megan Galetta, who will talk a little bit about Snowcamp, introduce you to it, and give you a walk through the actual interface.
Thanks, Craig. As I stated earlier, if you haven't received an email from Snowflake to log into the portal to Snowcamp, please send an email to alliances@snowflake.net, and we will send you an email to gain access. Also, check your spam folders because some have said that it's gone into their spam folder as well. So just be aware of that. So first, I wanted to just acclimate you to our portal. This is Snowcamp, and we are excited to bring this to you. This is our main console for information about Snowflake, about registering, managing your opportunities, training, and content. So we'd like you to get into the portal and kind of cruise around and just, get a feel for it and see what resources are there, et cetera. And we'd love to, hear your feedback on that. There's also a feature in here where a designated user of your organization can then also register additional users. So I'll demonstrate that as well, and then you can see how to just do that, okay? So the first part, let me just share my screen, and I'll take you live into the portal itself so that you can then see Snowcamp, okay? Just want to check with my team if everyone can see my screen live. And as you can see here, I'm just going to give it a second, make sure that this is live here. Okay. Let me go back. I'll give it a few seconds. There could be a slight delay. Okay, here we are. So this is Snowcamp, our portal. And in here you have the opportunity, see to the very left, to register a deal. We've got resources in here, sales materials, etc. We've got our training icon here, so you can go in there and access the portal, the various training modules that are available. Here's an intro of Snowflake and demo, a welcome from Bob, and then some other information, contact us, etc. Also, we put, just today we posted a guide for the portal so that will help you kind of navigate the portal, just some instructions on how to do certain features and some of the things that I'll highlight today. In addition, I just wanted to show you, so these are all just areas here. So if you notice these boxes, we'll be continually refreshing these, and so keep checking here. You'll see the content, we'll be changing, adding, and you may see more additional boxes pop up in the future. Could be around a specific vertical, or it could be around new product offerings and that kind of thing. So customer wins and things like that. So, keep checking back. You will see there will be, additional content posted as our team is continually adding new features to this. But there is a lot here. Our team did a great job in pulling in as much content that was available, from our own internal systems and whatnot, into our other system that we had to pull it in here for you all to use and to share. So so right now, the first thing I will demo is how to register a deal. And as you know from prior experience, we had a link, and you would fill out the web link, and then that would then kick off a whole kind of internal process inside of Snowflake. But now, this is much easier. This is intuitive, and you will have the opportunity just to enter the information right here on the screen. And you won't have to enter your own company's information as you did in the past, because we obviously know who the user is, so that's all taken care of. So right here, it'll just take you into who is the client name, and then asking you for some basic information. So I'm just going to take you through a demo right now live, so hopefully this will work out. And I'm going to put in okay. I'll just put in here test company so we all know it's test. And so the sections here, if you notice the red, and the red is going away as I'm typing, those are required fields. So okay, I'm just putting that in. And under here at the bottom, you will see there's also space in identified use case. You may want to put in something about specific business unit or specific use case, SAP legacy or Oracle legacy or Teradata, whatever you might want to put in there. And then here you can put in other details that you might have about this specific opportunity. Okay, so once that's all completed, then you just click Create. And there you go. So it just shows you here. It'll tell you, here's your bogus customer that we put in. It says pending deal registration we put it in today, so it timestamps it, so you have that as well. Customer information is here. Deal information, so the more you put in, you can manage this for your own internal purposes to say, oh, that's right, that was in this specific business unit, and you've got your own background around what are some of their current tools and the environment, and then the status right here. Okay, so this will tell you what is the status of that opportunity. So I've got my team on the back end that will approve this, and then once we get that approved, then we will see the notification. Okay, let's go to the notification. So if you notice up here, sorry, let me just close that out. If you notice the red box right there, okay, test company opportunity status change. So you'll click on that, okay, and it's noted here that opportunity status change to working. Okay, so that's obviously now in the workflow, and that we've got that in the queue. Okay, so it says, if you notice, I refreshed the screen. Now it says test company, and we can look here and see. We can fill out more information. You can manage the opportunity right through here. It tells you the status. It's in the discovery stage. And then we can adjust, close date and all of that content. Okay? So I wanted to just take you through that first, and that's how to manage, to register and then manage a deal. Okay? And again, I know this is a lot, to see it for the first time, but in addition, after this call, you can also take a look at the guide, and it will walk you through step by step as well, and there are screenshots in there. So, or you can reach out to anyone on our team, and we'd be happy to help you. Okay. So the next feature that I'd like to call out, which I know a lot of you will like, is how to subscribe to content. So as we mentioned earlier, there's all various types of content. We've got all these resources here, here as well. And you can subscribe to the content, which will be really helpful. So let's go into all ebooks, for example. We want to see what all the ebooks are. So I'll let that load. Okay, so we've got all these ebooks here. And what you can do at the very top of the page, if you want to get updates on any of the ebooks that get published and new content, etc., you can just simply click subscribe, and now you'll be a subscriber of the ebooks. And you can do that again and go back for any of these others. So say you want to be apprised of all the webinars, then go in and click and subscribe to that as well. So you may want to just spend a little time here as you come into the portal and cruise around and see what content you want to subscribe to so that you'll get all of the latest updates. When you do have updates, just remember the top right is where your notifications are. So it will tell you if there's new content posted, etc., and you will see that right away. Okay? So there's a lot there. Feel free to just take a look and click on that. And then lastly, I wanted to show you how to add users. Again, if you need access, please let us know, and then we will help you do that. But the best way is to go in and add users within your organization is to scroll all the way down. So this is your dashboard. Scroll down to the bottom of the dashboard, and then you'll see the section here, My Company. So click on that, okay? And then here's your company, okay? So we'll click on your company, and then you should see the 4 gray boxes right here on the screen. And the one screen that you'll need is portal users. If for some reason you're not seeing this box, portal users, please just let us know, and then we will go and fix your permission. You really should designate a user or two that will have that ability to add users. I don't know that you'd want everyone in your organization to have the ability to add users, so think about that and let us know. And then you should be able to, the person that will be adding users or will have that permission will have this on their screen, and so then you just click there, and then you click Invite User, and then you populate with the information from your own company. And so then once you populate, an additional user, then that will kick off the user in your company getting an email to go ahead and log in and join the portal. So that's what they will see. That it might say Snowflake or Welcome to Snowflake Portal or something like that. That's what they will see on their side. So that's what I had for the demo for today. I know it's a lot of information, but you can reach out to any one of us or to alliances@snowflake.net with any specific questions. Or again, you can, if you don't have access, please let us know because we really want to make sure that everyone does have access. And then secondly, we're happy to show you any special features of the portal itself. So please just let us know if you have any questions. We would love your feedback as well. We're really excited about it, and we're really hoping that everyone finds it to be a very useful dashboard and you find the content useful, et cetera. I guess the last thing that I didn't really call out that it is always extremely important is the training. So please take a look at the training modules. You'll see here that we've got your instructions to access Snowflake Academy, and then we've got foundation courses, sales-related courses, and then we have technical track as well. So level 100, 200, and 300 courses. Okay, so you can, obviously have your teams log in and then take the associated training according to their role as well if they're more sales-oriented or technical-oriented. Again, we'd love to hear your feedback and on the portal, on your usage, on any issues that you may be having accessing the portal, of course, but feedback is welcomed as well. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to any questions you might have. Feel free to log in or click the Q&A at the bottom of the screen and let us know if you have any questions. I will take a quick look.
Looks like most of them got answered, but I did want to call out one in particular. One question that a user asked was, will Snowflake's folks have access to any customer data or only their metadata? And I just wanted to make sure I addressed that for everyone's benefit. Snowflake, again, does not have access to any customer data unless it's explicitly granted to Snowflake. I just wanted to make sure we clarify that for our partners.
That's great. Okay, and I haven't seen anything else come across. Okay. Does anyone, okay. So with that, we'd like to thank you for joining our session today. And we're happy to answer any questions following the session. So feel free to reach out to, let's go back to the slide with our information. Feel free to reach out to Craig or I with any follow-on questions you may have after our session today. And we're happy to help you gain access to the portal or answer any questions about VPS. We appreciate your time today, and we look forward to talking with you all soon. Have a great weekend. Thanks.